This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, saving your day from boredom with the best podcasting entertainment.
What's up, what's up? Real MVPs, Ricky Widmer here, along with fellow Manchild Johnny Karlic.
Where are the drugs going?
Where are the drugs going? Yes, we are talking Batman today. Oh, it's going to be
Harvey
a fun
Dent.
time.
Can we trust him?
I think we can. I think we can trust him, Mr. Christian Bale. But we are talking Batman today. If you're unfamiliar with what the Rick and Johnny podcast is, we're everything from superheroes to Star Wars to Marvel to DC to
That's
TV
superheroes.
to movies, basically. I said superheroes, and then I listed off
Marvel
all
and
in
DC.
case you were confused.
And Dark Horse, and I don't know any others really.
IDW, and Image Comics. Yeah, we hit them all. Basically everything superhero, TV, movies, entertainment, anything under the two nerdy suns. And we got a jam-packed show. We got a 4-topic show today. We got to make up for lost ground because we did not get a show last week, which I apologize for. Had some health concerns with the main man over there. I'm just glad that you are okay, Johnny, and that we were able to do a show this week because it kind of derailed us to where we didn't go see Detective Pikachu, which Dave and I did. So, I mean, the review is basically go fucking see it. It's a Pokemon movie.
I was going to say, did you guys actually do the review for it, though?
No, we did not.
What the fuck?
So with that, I had every intention to do it. It just fell through with everything else we had to do with the fast break and stuff. But I made sure I saw it so that we can include it in our end of the year rewards. And this is not going to be like Han Solo, where Johnny just doesn't see it. I'm going to force you to watch it at some point. Like, actually, if I have to pay money to force you to sit down and watch it, I will do that. Because this is a movie. This is not like Solo where it's like, oh, you know what, Johnny didn't see it. No, this is a movie that Johnny should see. And the twist at the end is like, whoa, what the fuck?
Oh, thanks just for ruining that. I wanted to be surprised by a twist.
Well, I mean, it's all over the internet now. I knew there was a twist coming in. Knowing that the twist is there.
Don't pay attention to the twist.
You forget about the twist. You forget about it very quickly with how immersive that you are in this world. But before we get into everything, before I tell you what we're going to talk about today, I got to pitch you our good friends. I like this because Sean did it, and I'm just going to steal it. I got to tell them about our good friends at Patreon, which are basically ourselves. Patreon.com/MostValuablePodcast. That is how you can help support us. You can either join us at the bronze level for as low as $1. Get the MVP podcast a month early. Mark and I just did episode 2, talked a little bit about Game of Thrones. You can get that now before everyone else gets it in June. You can also, at $1, join us on our Discord server. You can join Hubertus. You can join Retro as the first people to join the Discord server. Retro lives in Australia. He can text us whenever he wants. He has a direct line to the MVP crew, and we're hoping to get more people in so that the MVP community can kind of talk to each other on this Discord server. At the silver level tier, you get to help pick subjects or topics, I should say, for the podcast, and then at the gold level, $10 a month, you get to join the podcast. Not only pick the topic, but you get to talk with us. So let's say you were upset about Robert Pattinson being Batman. You could join us and tell us why you were upset at that casting. But make sure to go to patreon.com/mostvaluablepodcast to help support us trying to get a new studio so we can get out of this little square box that we are in. But Johnny, jam-packed show. I already gave up one of the topics. Robert Pattinson is the new Batman. We're going to talk about, is that a good move, and will he be a good Batman?
Batman is the new Robert Pattinson?
Basically, is that what I said?
No.
I meant to say Robert Pattinson.
You did say Robert Pattinson is the new Batman. I just said it.
Usually I misspeak so much to where it's like you could basically say I said it the reverse way.
And Ricky will
believe you. Then we're going to look at some MCU stuff. Basically, the Spider-Man trailer that we didn't get to talk about last week, we're going to look at that. And also, there are theories circling about multiverses in the MCU because of Mysterio. Then we're going to take a look at the first look trailer for Batwoman. Oh my God, it's amazing. Can't wait to talk about that later in the show. Then we're going to end things off with a kind of older topic. This is a one, again, from last week that we're bringing into this one is New Mutants got delayed. It's going to come out April 2020. What does that mean for the movie is basically what we're going to look at. Disney basically said, no, this is a train wreck. We're going to push it a year.
We're going to fix this for you so you're not fucking up this.
Yeah, so we're going to look at that to end the show. But Johnny, let's start off with everything. Robert Pattinson is Batman. And when you sent me the article, at the time it was unique because I also sent you one in return is when it was being reported, pen had not hit paper. Like there was... People were saying, like, oh, Robert Pattinson's probably going to be the new Batman. But just wait, Nicholas Hoult could be Batman. Don't worry, like, he could be Batman. And then we find out Robert Pattinson. The pen has hit ink. Robert Pattinson is Batman. We did a topic way back in January about will he be a good not will he be a good Batman, but how should we feel with him being Batman? Because there was kind of rumors circling that he was Matt Reeves' guy to be Batman. And both you and I were not super high on the prospect of Pattinson being Batman.
No.
I want to ask you, now that we know for sure it's going to be him, have your thoughts changed since January? Will Robert Pattinson make a good Batman?
My mind has not changed about that. I don't know if he really has the chops for it necessarily because I'm looking up his IMDb right now to see what he's been in.
Really, for me, nothing except the Twilight movie.
That's the only thing I know him from.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to see, like, hey, have I heard of this movie right now? Of course, I got a glare when I'm trying to look at it.
Johnny and his tablet.
Oh, yeah. Just because I don't have a fancy case right now. Lots of Twilight, lots of things I've never heard of. So right now, I don't know if he's got the chops.
See,
from what I know he's in, but I mean, there's quite a few movies he's in, but they seem like they're not foreign, but like the
not American
indie films, almost.
So indie films.
I could be wrong. These might not be indie films, but
here's the thing I'm thinking about is basically. Because I'm the DC guy. This kind of hits kind of closer to home for me than you.
Well, especially since it's Batman.
I want to ask you, well, that too. Batman is my favorite. Him and Spider-Man will always rival for the top spot, and Batman will win 99.9% of the time. Here's the question I want to ask you, though, before I give my thought is, was there a casting in the MCU that you were ever nervous about? Because I was trying to think if there was one where it was like, when it initially was announced, we were nervous, but then that actor or actress proved us wrong.
I mean, what helped is like they started off strong with Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
And after seeing that, and then you see what we get next was the only one that they had a rough patch with was Bruce Banner.
Okay.
Because
they replaced
I didn't like
Ruffalo.
No. Before him, Edward Norton as Banner. It didn't make me nervous, but I didn't like him because he didn't portray Banner as what I've always seen Banner as.
True.
He was a little too cocky. He was a little too full of himself. Bruce Banner was never that way. At least the stuff I've read, he's never been that way. That's
actually a good example then, because I do remember when Ruffalo was on. It's like, whoa, why are we switching? Oh, it's because Edward Norton wanted more money. Okay. Mark Ruffalo, you got to prove yourself now. You're jumping in,
but
Avengers.
I still wasn't nervous because as soon as he jumped into Avengers, I started seeing soon as his first scene. When I say nervous, I'm saying before Avengers, before you see the movie, because right now we haven't even seen what Robert Pattinson's going to look like, and this is the crux of my little thought process. And some people may say, "Well, Ricky, this is you." Backpedaling because way back in January, yes, I listened to it last night so I could remember what I said. I was nervous about it, and Robert Pattinson wouldn't have been my first choice. But now that he is Batman, and I know there's no change, the first thing I hate is all the things of not my Batman, Michael Keaton will forever be my Batman. It's can we stop hating on people
just because they get good roles. Like, the whole thought process with me is, am I excited for him as Batman? No, but I'm not going to write him off completely to where I want to wait and see what he looks like as Batman. I want to wait and see that first trailer. Like you said, that first scene in the movie when you saw Ruffalo's banner, you were not nervous.
Like I was like
that, because you're like, okay, this is Bruce Banner.
Exactly. He actually. I mean, we didn't have a big. We didn't have a high to go, to be honest, because it's like, oh, okay, here's Edward Norton, here's whatever his name was before that. I forget who did the Ang Lee ones. Yeah. And then Edward Norton, like, out of the park. I'm like, okay. I mean, you didn't have a high bar to go, but you jumped it hard. So, but Pattinson, it's just like the fact I'm thinking of. I'm not like bashing on him.
It is also hard that like Edward Norton didn't have anyone to compare to, whereas Robert Pattinson has Ben Affleck, Christian Bale.
For sure.
Val Kilmer, Michael Keaton, George Clooney. There are many people that have wore the cowl in movies.
Exactly. And then just the thing I'm thinking about is like, it's not necessarily I'm bashing on him. I'm just saying I don't know if he's got the chops to bring us the Batman. Because so far, Affleck did a pretty good job, in my opinion.
Affleck's problem was more the direction of the character. I blame Zack Snyder.
Yeah, no, it's the direction the character was going, not
Ben
him
Affleck.
itself. But it's just, I'm just wondering if he's got the chops to do it, because the only thing, like I said, I know him from is I've seen him in Twilight.
Yeah, and see that's
and I've actually only seen one movie.
And that's the thing I hate is that everyone is like, hey,
do I love the memes? Absolutely.
I hate the memes.
I love the memes. They're hilarious.
And the reason why I hate them is like, I feel like if they were just memes for memes, I wouldn't care. But I feel like with Robert Pattinson right now, it's the whole thing that went on. This is on a lesser scale. But it kind of seems the same way when Trump became president here in the States.
It wasn't memes for memes.
Not my president, like that stuff. Where when I see not my Batman, I literally am seeing like the person being like, no, like I saw one where it's like, not my Batman, hashtag Keaton will forever be my Batman. It's like, Keaton's not going to be Batman. And I get people saying, like, I saw the one meme that I did really like is like, bring back Michael Keaton as old Batman. And then have Pattinson be Terry McGinnis. Which I would love, but
that'd be
they're
cool.
not like, they want it, from what I hear, they have wanted to do a Batman Beyond film or a Batman Beyond kind of thing, but they're not. Like, this is Batman. This is going to be Matt Reeves and his trilogy. And the thing I want to see is I want to wait and see the first trailer, the first images that we see of Robert Pattinson. Because the thing, does he have the look of a Bruce Wayne? I'm going to go ahead and say yes. I mean, really, to be Bruce Wayne, you either have to be really big playboy, but also you just have to look fucking good in a suit. Let's be honest. You just have to be a billionaire. Yeah,
this is why tablets are a good thing.
The Robert Pattinson with him in a suit.
I just looked up Robert Pattinson formal, and yeah, he can pull off the look. Yeah, I'd say if he got a haircut a little bit, a little shorter, they're gonna make him do it anyways.
Basically,
for the role.
Whatever I would say this little shorter hair shot.
Yeah, that one
is going to be more of what they do, maybe. But
a little more groomed, basically.
Here's what I'm thinking, and this is my thought process, is you know what kind of Bruce Wayne I could see Robert Pattinson being?
Yeah, how about that one instead? That would work.
Yeah, like it's more of the grizzle with the of like grizzled beard. But I'll be honest, I don't want him to have a beard as Batman.
That's true.
I want, and the image I'm going with, the Batman that I think Robert Pattinson... I was
more so saying the hair actually could work.
How it had a little bit of a flip.
A little bit of flip.
For them watching it. I'll try to put these, so save those, links, and I'll put them down below in the description so they can see it, because right now, us talking about these images, they're sitting there watching and listening, being like, what the hell? But the Batman that I could see Robert Pattinson being is, think back to the animated series Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Clean shaven. You've got the kind of shorter haircut, but not too long, but more so the demeanor, where Christian Bale's Batman was the cocky, arrogant asshole.
where basically he's walking in with the Playboy models like, oh, hey, sorry she just fell in the tank of fish. I guess I'll throw my money at that. Sitting at the table with his date with Rachel and Harvey, kind of like being that a little pompous, but a little like, yeah, look at me. Like, I'm going to show my money off. I'm an arrogant asshole. And that's the Bruce Wayne that Christian Bale played, where I feel like Robert Pattinson can be that Batman the Animated Series where you got right away that, yes, he had money. Mm-hmm. But I always felt the Animated Series Bruce Wayne was a little bit more humble than like what we got with Christian Bale, where it was like he wasn't over the top. Yes, did he have the supermodels and stuff? Yeah, he did. He had ridiculously hot dates when he went to stuff, but he was more humbled in everything. And that's the Robert Pattinson maybe I hope they go with. Apparently, we're already getting kind of rumors and stuff circulating that the main villain of the movie looks like it could be Penguin, but also Catwoman could also be. So it looks like we may be doing a Penguin Catwoman kind of co-villain with Penguin, and then kind of anti-villain / villain hero with Catwoman, and kind of introducing that love interest.
Like he's going to have a full-on villain to deal with and a partial villain to deal with.
Basically, yeah. What are your thoughts on that? Like, if you were Matt Reeves, what would be the villain you start with? With your first Batman movie, knowing Robert Pattinson's your Batman.
The Joker. No, I'm kidding. No.
Bring Heath Ledger back, man. He's the only one that can play it.
Oh.
He did a really good job. Yeah, he did a really good job as Joker.
He did. Who would be... I wouldn't start with one of your big ones, but Penguin. I would. If the biggest one I would go with is probably Penguin. Though, like, I know there's other we've actually talked about in other podcasts and the good matchups and or villains
the
to start
Rogues
with.
Gallery.
The Rogues Gallery.
Yeah.
We did.
Mr. Freeze, we talked about in that one, so I won't get into details. But he's one that's interesting.
I'll wait till a second one, get Batman established, so that you can do more of the background story of Mr. Freeze in the other one, and focus more on that in a second one.
True.
Because like once you have Batman established, we don't have to worry about anything with him.
Do you think this could be the first Batman movie where we don't get his parents killed? Do you think they're going to be like, hey...
They're always going to reference it.
Reference it is fine, but could this be the first Batman film where we actually don't see the gunshot?
No.
Like at the beginning of the film, like, hey, this happened to Bruce Wayne. We get it. We all... Like, even the casuals are like, yeah, I know. We get it. It's Bruce Wayne. I know what happened to fucking Bruce Wayne.
Nope, I want to see his parents die.
You want to see Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Lauren Cohen dead in an alley again, like BVS?
Always.
Probably the saving grace from that film was Jeffrey Dean Morgan being Thomas Wayne, because then we could get him in a Flashpoint movie.
Fingers crossed.
But basically, when it comes to this, and this is coming from the Hollywood Reporter, is Reeves is planning to use several villains in the Batman, with Cobblepot being one of the main antagonists. In addition, his likely appearance, or in addition to his likely appearance, they also tease that Selena Kyle is also going to be involved in the film as well, by mentioning that a perfect character is included in Reeves' script. However, these two foes may not be the only ones either, as one source told The Hollywood Reporter that around a half dozen villains could appear.
Wow.
That means, for
6 total.
My math, 6 total villains. So, to end the podcast, because we're on the same page, Robert Pattinson, we're both a little nervous. I'm on the wait and see. Like, I'm going to hold optimism until I see him as Batman and then make my kind of deciding. I'm not going to write him off completely because as a younger adult, he did a Twilight movie to make some money. Like, I'm not going to hold that against him. Like, go do you. It's like Zac Efron, where I feel like Zac Efron, before now, he broke out with some of the comedies he's in. He kind of found his niche. Before it was like, oh, Zac Efron, that kid from High School Musical? That kid?
that's the one you want? Like, Robert Pattinson's in the same boat.
Yeah.
So the thing I'll ask you to end this is, you're Matt Reeves. Congratulations. I've just body swapped you, and you are now Matt Reeves. Cobblepot and Catwoman.
No takesies, backsies.
No takesies, backsies. We'll say that those two are for sure going to be in it.
Okay.
If you had to pick 4 others to go with Cobblepot and Selena Kyle, who would you pick?
I'm trying to think of who you don't need a huge amount of background to, and one of them that comes to mind is the Riddler. You don't need a bunch of background story to him because you kind of, if as long as you give it, like, you push his niche of what he does, that's all you need. You don't need his background.
Two-Face, too.
Two-Face is another one.
Like,
I mean,
you just need to, like, Harvey Dent. Boom, that's it.
yeah.
So Two-Face, Riddler could be in it.
Like, people that don't need, I'm just trying to think of who doesn't need, like, a background story to get into the movie. And the only reason I don't, like, Mr. Freeze, maybe you don't need it, but he's got such an interesting background story. Why would you waste that?
Well, and also the thing, too, and I'm going to throw this out there, is basically Man Bat, but basically how I see it going is Matt Reeves has got to play with 2 things. He's first got to play with recency, because here's all the villains that we have seen, and I'm doing this off the top of my head, in Batman films. Yes, most of them happened in like the 90s, early 2000s, but we've seen Mr. Freeze. We've seen Two-Face. We've seen Riddler. We've seen the Joker twice now. We've seen Penguin and Catwoman. I believe they were in the same movie, too. I believe that was the
they were.
The 1992 Batman, I believe. Batman Returns was both Catwoman and Penguin. We've seen Poison Ivy.
Was that the one with Keaton?
I think so.
Oh, there you go.
We've seen Poison Ivy. We've seen Bane. I'm not going to count Harley Quinn because we haven't seen her in a Batman movie.
Is that why you only said Joker twice? Because technically we've seen 3 Jokers since then.
Yeah, I mean, Jared Leto wasn't in a Batman movie.
Okay, there you go.
I when I was talking Joker, I was meaning like Jack Nicholson and then
Nicholson. Thank you.
And then I was thinking the golfer, Jack Nicklaus.
Sure.
Jack Nicholson, and then also
Heath Ledger.
Ooh, you know who'd be an interesting one, and I don't know if you need too much of an explanation for this. Hugo Strange. Yeah, you don't really need a lot of background for him. Just like you can go along in the storyline and give away like what type of person he is. We've seen
Mad
Scarecrow. Mad Hatter would be like, and Mad Hatter. Do we need? I'm going off of what you said. Do we need
background story?
A lot of background for Mad Hatter.
Not to my knowledge, but you're the guy that knows more.
We would need to,
Scarecrow,
obviously you
not
need
really.
to introduce them somehow.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you. You don't want to introduce someone that needs so much backstory that it clashes with your Batman backstory.
Because the first one should focus on Batman's backstory, even though even the casual know who he is, know his backstory. You kind of want to make this the focus on who is Batman.
Because I would even...
And I mean, yes, I know he's Bruce Wayne. Thank you.
Yeah, because I would even
Comments
throw
below.
out, like... And the thing is, are they going to hit us with basically 6 heavy hitters, or are they going to tear it off? Or it's like, hey,
I'd hope they tear it off.
Maybe we've got like, because when I say tear it off, I'm going to explain it I'm going to bring sports in to kind of explain it. Where when we talk draft in the NBA, we have tiers of prospects. So like tier 1 in the NBA draft right now is Zion Williamson. He's alone. He's the top guy. Then tier 2. There's this other guy, John Morant. He's like a step below the first guy, but he's on his own level. Then there's like 4 guys that are in tier 3, another 5 guys that are in tier 4, and we kind of bracket it off that way, where it's like, hey, you're looking at these different levels, and I think the villains are the same way, where it's like the Joker would be at the top, tier 1, but he wouldn't be the only one. Like there'd be like Cobblepot, Joker, maybe Two-Face, maybe?
It might be tier 2. Two-Face?
That's why I kind of put that question mark. But, like, you've got your tier 1
because even Riddler
guys.
to me is like tier 2.
So, really, the only tier 1s are, what, Joker and Cobblepot?
Debatable. I mean, you can always make an argument for someone else.
Yeah, and I mean, but that's the thing. Maybe
Like Man-Bat's
big-
probably tier 3.
Yeah, 2 big heavy hitters. Selena Kyle, which is definitely not tier 1, so that works perfectly. But kind of sprinkle in those lesser villains.
Yeah.
Towards not everyone right away, because I wonder if they're going to do Poison Ivy with Selena Kyle because of their whole thing too.
Here's the other thing is like he didn't say he was going to fight them all. He just said like it could be like an after credit scene of
True.
like
To introduce something for the next movie.
flashing scenes of like you see the Scarecrow mixing up the stuff. You see I'm just going to throw this shit out there. Man-Bat like him like transforming into the bat or something. Shit like that.
And if I would have read like down further, if this report is accurate, then the Batman could be a bit of a familiar sight for moviegoers. Tim Burton previously used both Penguin and Catwoman in Batman Returns, where Danny DeVito and Michelle Pfeiffer portrayed the retrospective
Can we just get
villains.
Danny DeVito's Penguin again?
Oh God, I remember my last ex-girlfriend, or I should just say my last girlfriend. So my latest ex.
Your ex.
Because I have a few of them, John.
Yeah, but this is your. When you say your ex, usually people go to the most recent.
I'm making it more complicated than it has
Yeah,
to.
you are.
My ex is basically the one thing I always remember is to freak her out. So like if she always like got prissy with me and stuff, I knew she hated Danny DeVito's Penguin. So I would just bring him up. I'd be like, hey, remember Danny DeVito in Batman? It would just set her off because she was so afraid of Danny DeVito's Penguin. Still, as a college student when we were dating, which I was like, come on, get over it. But then it goes on. Catwoman had received additional screen time in years with Halle Berry, played her in a solo film, and then Anne Hathaway did the same in Dark Knight Rises. So for me, I would love to see maybe 3 villains that we've seen before.
Yeah.
And then maybe like 2 or 3 that we haven't seen
Honestly,
before.
I almost don't even count the Scarecrow because we got barely any of him.
You know who I would love to see? And this is all dependent on if they're still going to use him. I would love to see Deadshot. You gave me Deadshot at the end of BVS.
True.
Am I supposed to think he's still in this universe? Am I supposed to forget he ever happened? Or not Deadshot, Deathstroke. That's what I'm thinking.
Yes,
Because Deadshot is Will Smith. But yeah, it's like, give me a Deathstroke.
You gave me Deathstroke. Now give him to me.
Yeah, I was so excited when originally he was going to be
like
in the
tier
Justice
2?
League.
Do you think?
Yeah, I would say tier. Like for Batman, he's tier 2 because he's tier 1 for Teen Titans.
Yeah.
Because he's a main. He's
a main baddie.
And I believe
Teen
we're going to
Titans.
get him in season 2 of Titans, which
cool.
also apparently there's kind of some rumors floating around that Robin could become Nightwing in season 2 of Titans. So I'm super pumped for that. But any final thoughts before we move on from DC into the MCU?
Nope. I'm just kind of hoping DC didn't fuck up.
Yeah, I'm hoping the same thing. But I am sitting here with some optimism. I'm trying to be as positive as I can with this. I'm going to wait and see what he looks like in the first kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Set pictures, the first trailer, and then when we get the movie, what he actually looks like. But this is where we turn it on to you guys. Let us know what you think down below in that comment section. What do you think of the casting of Robert Pattinson for Batman? Are you for it? Are you on the fence, basically in the middle, kind of where I am? Or you absolutely hate it? I don't like it. If you're a not my Batman kind of person, I want to know why and what you are feeling. Because I just feel like that kind of side of it is not giving Robert Pattinson his fair shake, his fair chance to do what he wants to do with the character, which we don't even know what he wants to do because he just got cast as Batman. But let us know what you guys think down below in the comment section.